Hey guys, welcome out to the shop today. We got a new little project here. Is a leaf blower that hasn't ran in quite a few years. I'm going to try to go ahead and get started and running. It's just been sitting in somebody's yard for, I think the guy said about 5 years. I haven't tried to mess with it at all, and I figured that we could try to do it over video and try to work our way through it and try to get it running. So here's a look at the leaf blower. I like this one because it's got two different ports right here, and you can flip it right here and you can change the direction of where you're blowing, so you can either blow out the front or blow out through the side. It's called a Hechinger BL53 is the model of it. So from looking it up online, I believe these were sold through Home Depot at some point. This was an old family business that was ran, and then the guy eventually had to sell it off, and they sold it over to Home Depot, and I'm pretty sure that's probably where this one was picked up. But there is the leaf blower, and we're going to go ahead and try to get it started. Alright, so first thing first, obviously I want to go ahead and I want to just try it to see if it'll even do anything at all. So we got the choke on. Well, that's quite promising. I'm going to go ahead and check the oil on it and also remove the spark plug and see how clean that is. I knew that the motor wasn't locked up. I tested that before I actually bought it. You don't really want to buy something if the motor's locked up technically. So I went ahead and checked it out. And we're just going to go ahead and check out the oil. I'm going to probably change this out anyway. So I got a flashlight, and looking in there, just looking to see, that is some really black oil, so that's obviously going to get changed. It's a lot darker. I bet you this oil has never been changed in this thing. So take out the spark plug, and that is very clean. Looks like they may have replaced this, and maybe it didn't run after, and that's why they just put it up. We're going to go ahead and check it for spark, make sure that we do have spark on it. Alright, so we got the spark plug sitting right there. We're just going to watch for a spark. Alright, so we do got a good spark on it, which is good. So now we can move on. So I'm going to go ahead and get this air cleaner cover popped off real quick. Take a look at that and see what's down it. See if there's any junk blocking it up. And then we'll move on to looking at the carburetor. Woo! That is filthy. Look how dirty that is. Definitely can replace that. So now we got the air cleaning unit all off, and we can check out all this. Everything looks like it's freely moving like it's supposed to. Nothing looks like it's stuck. Alright, so I've gotten the throttle body and stuff off now, finally. But it's all off, all in one piece. It looks really gunked up with stuff. So we're going to go ahead and probably disassemble it even further and then stick in some carburetor cleaner. And I got the fuel tank off as well, and this looks nasty as well. So we're just going to go ahead and take it step by step and get this cleaned up so that we can put some fresh fuel in it and try to get this thing running. So we went ahead and pulled this out of the cleaner and blew it all off, wiped it down, and it's cleaned up very nice. The inside had a lot of debris on the choke. Everything else looked fine though. The throttle inside moved freely. It moves a lot easier now. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can get a good shot. The choke moves freely as well. Everything cleaned up good. The pickup tube with the filter on the bottom had a lot of debris on there, and it's fairly cleaned off. I'm going to try to pull that whole piece off, try to clean it up a little bit more. I went ahead and bought some some Felpro. This will be making the gaskets for this. So I just got the body assembled onto the gas tank, and you can barely see the new gasket. I did a pretty good job at keeping it. You can see it sticking out right there. I kept it fairly close. Got all the ports cleared out for the fuel to run around, and now it's all seated in with the 3 screws. One thing I did notice is the pickup tube that's down in this corner right here was very filled up with debris, and I went ahead and cleaned that out, obviously. And when I went and dumped the fuel tank out, look at all that rust. That is terrible. So I went ahead, and I know you probably won't be able to see it, but I went ahead and cleaned out the fuel tank. So that's all nice and good to go. Alright, so I've gotten the engine completely back together, and I made sure that all my ports and stuff like that were all cleaned out in the carburetor. And this is a different kind of carburetor. If you notice, there was no float bowl. That's because it works off of a diaphragm, and it actually pumps off the vacuum from the engine. But I showed you guys earlier the old air filter. Here's the old one. So I went ahead and picked up a new one because doing all this and then keeping that old air filter would have been completely pointless. So when we're going to be trying to tune this up, I got to have the new filter in here, or once again it would be completely pointless because then everything that you do is incorrect. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all back assembled, and then we'll give it a few pulls and hopefully it'll fire up. So I went ahead and found an owner's manual online, and one of the things that it said is to, if I didn't have this light flashing, there is the idler screw right there that you can see right near there, and what they suggest you do is run that all the way in, not tight, but just barely going in, and then back it out 1.5 turns. So I've already done that. And to get fuel quickly pumping up to the motor, I have the throttle all the way open, and I'm going to put my choke all the way closed, and then we'll be able to adjust the needle where we want it to be after we get it running. And if you do it without the air filter on, you're just wasting your time because you'll have to adjust it because you're blocking off even more air. So let's go ahead and give this a few pulls. Well, that's nice. And I did have some leftover cleaner in the spark plug that I dumped there probably. So we'll give it a little bit more. Alright, so I've adjusted the needle out one full turn, and it seems like it's not wanting to keep running at all. So I'm going to turn it back half a turn, see where that gets me. That's what I like to hear. Alright guys, well that's it. We are done with this. It's running, and that's as far as I wanted to do. This was no kind of restoration whatsoever. This was just a rerun. I wanted really a challenge just to see if I could get something. It's been a long time since I've worked on little motors and stuff like that. But this wasn't too bad. I had to clean out the carburetor system and adjust the needle to get it to run right. But I think we're here. I think it's dialed in. I'm going to fix a few little things on here, just some loose parts that I guess worked loose over time from whoever had it last. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys have any tips or suggestions, you know, as always, leave them. Help us out. Help the community out on here. Everybody's input's always welcome. And now it's ready to blow some leaves or grass or trash. I don't know, something. It's gonna be blowing something though. But glad it's done. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.